Good morning, everybody. I'm Teresa Perrin, and this is my stock market watch list for Monday, January 30th, 2023. I am actually pre-recording this on Sunday night because I do have an early appointment this morning, and I was not going to be home to be able to watch and give you an update. So I wanted to record this so that you know what I'm looking at for tomorrow. That being said, I will not have the normal list that I put up on what's running in pre-market because I'm not home to see that. So let's get started. If you could smash that like button for me, I'd greatly appreciate it as it helps with the algorithm. And consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Okay, so I am definitely going to be watching EVs, particularly ones that haven't had huge runs yet. And that's because Tesla has been on fire since it bottomed in the low 100s. And guys, I strongly believe that Lucid is going to continue moving today. So I'm looking at XPEV, NIO, Mullen, and other EV companies that could also run along with it. Now, a lot of them were hot on Friday, so did they take a day and cool off? It's very possible, but it's also possible that this sector could just be at the start of becoming on fire, and we could see some strong moves continue, as prices can be overextended for an extended period, just like they can be down and in the dumps for an extended period. So keeping an eye on those today. And obviously next on my list is Mullen. Curious to see if this performs as other EVs does. It should be an interesting play if it does, so keep an eye on it. Lucid. Well, guys, if you haven't seen my video on this yet, I highly suggest you watch it because I firmly believe that Lucid is just getting started. It had a squeeze that got pulled back suddenly on Friday, and I don't think it's anywhere near done. I think they needed more time to add in options, to be quite frank, because they ended at $15. And it's funny, as soon as it got to $17.80, the minute they halted it, they changed that price to $15, even though there were buy and sell orders on there. So at any rate, keep an eye on it. Shopify. All right, this is another play that I have been calling out because I really think it's very strong ever since it was around $40. I liked it, and I've been telling you to keep your eye on it. So again, is this another one that could potentially consolidate? It had a nice move for its size, up $1.76 on Friday. It's pulling back slightly in the after hours, down 10 cents. And I'm looking for a continuation, but it all depends on how the market moves, I would say, with this one. And guys, please remember that we have Wednesday, I think, is the FOMC meeting. So things could be very interesting. We have a lot of earning plays this week too. GameStop. All right, called this one out for you guys on Friday. I really like the way the chart was set up. I had options on this and banked. And I think that GameStop, AMC, and a lot of those other old squeeze plays, so to speak, back around the anniversary of GameStop and when it happened, could be trending and hot right now because a lot of them have been beat down very, very hard. So I'd keep a close eye on those. I did put out a video with a list that had all of the stocks that squeezed at the same time because I think we're in a very interesting situation in this market, and I think you could see some of these plays become hot again. All right, AMC, I think I just clearly stated why I'm watching that along with GameStop. So keep it on your radar. The chart on here also looks extremely bullish, and I think a breakout could be coming. BBIG. All right, a lot of questions on this one lately, so I decided to put it in here. Guys, be very careful. This play could absolutely skyrocket, but it also could get sent to OTC land. They have earning reports that are very overdue that need to be put out this week. If they put them out, then I think you're going to see the stock rip. If they do not, then be prepared because I think it will dump hard because the outcome of that is not going to be good for BBIG. I do not think they qualify for another NASDAQ extension. So if they do not put out those reports, then be prepared because this is going to OTC land. But if they do, this is going probably to have a very nice run, which is certainly long overdue, and I will be watching this name this week. All right, Wish, W-I-S-H. Guys, this has been destroyed ever since that whole pump and dump scheme that was going on with Atlas named this ticker, and the thing ran to like $30-something, if I remember correctly. Well, it's been pulled back clearly very, very strongly to 68 cents where it currently sits, but it was under 50 cents, I think, at its low. And it's been slowly trying to come back up. I don't know why, but I have a gut feeling on Wish that it's just going to make a massive move to the upside any day now, and I want to catch it, so I'll be watching. Hellbiz. All right. So a lot of you are asking where I stand with this. Am I buying? Am I selling? Guys, I haven't sold a single share, and that's the honest to God's truth. However, the filings on Friday have changed this for me, and this is now a trade for me. It is no longer a long-term hold based on what I want to call the shenanigans going on in it, and I feel I made a bad choice in judgment, and I'm really actually very disappointed in that, because I'd like to believe that Palilla has nothing to do with what's happening, but based on some of his tweets and based on his wanting to convert the Series A and not the Series B, or potentially not the Series B, that gives him a lot of power, and that gives him a huge financial incentive, and it basically feels like a big FU to shareholders, and I don't think that that is ethical by any means. Borderline criminal in my opinion. However, if people vote for it, I guess NASDAQ will not see it that way. But guys, I feel robbed, as you should, because it's essentially diluting you by doing that even further than all the dilution we've already had. So in my opinion, I don't know what I'm going to do. To be honest, I really put myself at a disadvantage because I can't trade this tomorrow morning because I have my mammogram. So unless I'm going to be sitting in there in my gown with a phone in my hand, which is not allowed, physically I cannot do anything about it. So if I were a real jerk, guys, I would have kept my mouth shut on everything I was feeling until at some point this week. But I'm not a dumper like that. I would never do that to you. So really, I screwed myself by telling you earlier, just so you're all aware that's the person that I am, because I have integrity and I can't keep my mouth shut when I see something I don't like. So what I'm doing with this will all depend on when I come out of that mammogram and can physically take a look at what's happening chart-wise, which it's a little bit hard to do on your phone. So I don't know. Hopefully I get home before market open and this thing's a complete disaster, because I have a feeling it's going to dump, followed by some kind of a rebound rally, because shares prices are going to get really cheap. And there's definitely potential for runs here. I'm not going to lie about that. I don't think it's done. I think it may be done for now, and I think it could see more downside before upside. I don't know that it's completely done. So it's just a question of how long do you want to hold this. Personally, I will be treating this as a trade going forward. That's where I stand. Mara, M-A-R-A. All right, guys. So Mara, interesting. With Friday, I would expect this to have gone up because crypto, I believe, was going up during the day. And yet it didn't. And I think that had a lot to do with options. And there was some strange things going on. So I'd keep a close eye on this, because I think it's going to break out like no tomorrow. When it does, Bitcoin has been steadily rising. It almost broke 24,000 today, I believe. I believe it got to like 23.9, and it's pulling back. But I expect a continuation tomorrow, unless for some reason the market dumps. So I'll be watching Mara, and BKKT is my other favorite right now, but also, of course, Coin, Riot, BTCM, to name a few. HUT are other ones you may want to keep a close eye on. All right, SOFI has earnings. I believe they are today, well, being Monday after the bell, but I could be wrong. I know they're this week, so keep a close eye on SOFI, because I think you might see some very nice moves in this stock. It's actually a great ticker in my opinion. I think it's a great investment that's been highly beat down, and definitely can see this running. All right, Palantir, PLTR. Okay, guys, so I actually really like this play, both short and long term. I think it's very undervalued at these prices. I think if Bitcoin continues to run, you're going to see this move higher because I believe Palantir made a big investment in Bitcoin about 2 years ago, if I recall correctly. And with Bitcoin falling, I think that didn't help the price of its stock. I think it was considered like a big what if, because obviously it would lose a lot of its value as Bitcoin was losing value. Well, now that Bitcoin's back on the rise again, I think you're going to see Palantir move up fairly quickly. So this is definitely a key ticker on my watch list, and I do have options in it as well. FIGS, FIGS, I also have option contracts in right now because I strongly feel that FIGS is going to make a big move to the upside very soon. It's been beat down hard, and if you haven't already heard my thesis on that, I believe I put out at least a couple of videos on it. So check out my FIGS videos, and it's been moving up since the $6 range when I called it out, guys. I think we're going to hit $10 very quickly, and there was a dark pool print on it. I believe it was Friday, but it was definitely one day last week. A huge dark pool buy, which you don't often see in, an $8 stock. So definitely keep an eye out. All right, and TAL. Guys, I haven't given up on the fact that I firmly believe that we are going to fill that 1960 gap. The question is when. I have no clue. I'm not quite sure why this keeps getting pullbacks, but I think it just has to do with the Chinese economy and the US and the uncertainties and all of that good stuff. So depending on what happens with China in the news this week, I guess will depend on what happens with TAL. Fridays, don't expect much. I think only one Friday out of the last several, it's really had a nice breakout. So maybe it's overdue for one. I don't know, but I wouldn't play weeklies. I'd play monthlies on it if you're going to play the options game. But keep a close eye on it because I have a feeling when we least expect it, you're going to see a massive move and it's just not going to stop. That gap fills at 1960. There's a lot of opportunity here when it does make a move. All right, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.